Hey everyone, this is Rick Morgan. Sorry I've been offline for a while. I haven't been making very many videos. I was in Europe for a while and came back, and then I just got back from Africa yesterday. Today I'm going to Texas for a week, and then next week I'll be in Ethiopia. I'm trying to schedule an interview with Big John, which I think will be fun. But in the meantime, I did a video which started off trying to be a video showing how to do 2 books at one time in the press, which is not really rocket science, but it's just something to pass the time and make a video. And it ended up being more interesting than I thought, because in this particular book, Spine Tics came out okay. It wasn't that interesting, but in this one it needed some additional work. So that's it. This one, I really love this book. This is from the Black Suit / Black Cat days in Cloak and Dagger, and this is always one of my favorite covers. Easily, I try to get this book in all sorts of conditions. I just really love it. I love reading it, and the cover is great too. This one's not so good of a book, but I do enjoy the cover. Amazing Spider-Man 271, and it's different color of orange, but it's still a fun, good cover. It's just before that Fire Lord series started, and Spider-Man, and just a good run filler. But anyway, I'll show you how I do it, and I hope you enjoy the video. All right, take care. Bye-bye. Here is the initial condition of these books. You can see they have some wrinkles in them and some slightly color-breaking spine ticks. This one has no color-breaking spine ticks, so that's good. But you can just see what the initial condition is, just for later reference. In this Peter Parker book, the first thing I do is open it up and put in under the first page of the book, not the cover, I put a chamfer pressing board. And many of you have seen this many times before. I'm just stopping here to just appreciate this book for a moment because I really enjoy it. But here's the edge. You can see this chamfered edge of the book. I put it under here because this page is generally a lot less dirty. The ink comes off of it less than under the cover. And so it just preserves the chamfer board for a long amount of time. I put it on the press, scoot it over with the spine towards the center and on the right hand side. This is a 15 by 15 press, and I put 1 sheet of silicone paper on top. Here's the other book. I'm doing the same thing, but I put this one upside down. I'm keeping the spines towards the center so that there's more pressure in the center of these than on the edges, and we want the spine ticks to go away, so we want slightly more pressure in the middle. So I put this other guy upside down, and it's sandwiched just like this is. I only put something under the front. You could have put a chamfer board under the back cover too, but I wasn't interested in these particular books. And I put another plate on top. That's just to distribute the heat more evenly. And then I shut the press. And 165 for 600 seconds. Here we go. The Peter Parker 95 overall looks pretty good. It's cold pressing now under this. Is a 1/2 inch thick cold press board for a couple days. Keep the reversions from coming back. There's a little hint of a tick there. I'll probably work that out later. But overall, I'm pretty happy with it. It looks good. The Amazing Spider-Man 271, however, is a different story. At first blush, it looks okay. But at a low angle, you can still see some ticks, and I'll show some photos of that here. I'll go after those a little bit. This Peter Parker number 95 book, you can see there's just a little tiny bit hint of that original spine tick there, but all the general waviness is gone, and the book looks pretty good. So I'm not going to do any more work to this book. I'll just cold press it for a couple of days. The ASM 271, however, is a different matter. A lot of these spine ticks, which are not like subtly color breaking, just barely color breaking, but there's a bunch of them, and there's residue of them here. You can just see the hints of them, and so it's time to go to work. So for this book, I could steam it, but I don't want the whole thing wrinkling, so I'm just going to put a teeny drop of DI water on each one of these spine ticks, and I'm going to let it soak for about 45 seconds to a minute until it's no longer beating on the surface, and then I will go to work with my Tic Attack board. I normally would be disinclined to show this entire process because it's repetitive and boring, but I've been asked to show more detail in what I do. So I'm tucking the Tic Attack board into the spine, and by putting the little marks on the paper, that helps me see through this silicone sheet, helps me to see where the spine ticks are. So I just look for those little lines, because you won't be able to see them very easily in all the light in every angle, and you also won't be able to see them through that silicone paper always. So I just rub on a spot that's a flat spot on the Tic Attack board with medium pressure along that spine, and then I just will scooch the Tic Attack up a little at a time, working up and getting each of these spine ticks out this way. Now this is turned up to level 7 on my variable tacking iron here. It's about 130 to 140 degrees. It's usually around 133 right now, I think. It cools off as you're using it. As you wave it around and as it touches the book, it'll cool, but it gets warm again. And you can see actually some of the ticks are gone below where I started working on them. And then after I'm done, I'll have to repress the book as well, because often the handling will cause some problems. Here I am just doing the same stuff. Yeah, there goes another. It's not super exciting work. I'll usually go up, and then I might make another pass back down, past each tick on the way down the spine. And the little notch helps you get in the Tic Attack, helps you get on either side of the staple. And really, that's all there is to it. They should come out pretty well. Here I repress the book, and you can see an after video here. You can see what it looks like now. And I'll compare it with the original video as well, so you can kind of make a comparison at the same time. The spine ticks don't show up in every video and every light angle quite the same way, so I'm going to try to take a few different angles to show you before and afters. Here's a before and after number 1. And you can just barely tiny see little bitty spine ticks here. And in a bag, if I'm holding up the book, you really can't see them at all. But under certain light conditions, they are slightly visible. Here is a lower light angle, so maybe you can see the difference a little better here. They're going to really show up at a low angle, like a little more obvious. So you can compare them before and after. And you can just barely see them still. And this one is a lower angle and it's close up, so you can see that there are still little tiny marks from these spine ticks still, at least some of them. So that but it's only under these conditions are they immediately visible. Well, that's it for that video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was fun for you. I know it's similar to a lot of my other videos, but people ask for more examples, so who am I to deny them? It's fun. I got a couple books for my PC. I mean, obviously I've had tons of these books forever. This book I actually bought as a child, as a teenager, and this book I just got recently. So I know that those spine ticks had been in there since the last time I read it, which was when Reagan was president at some point. This is another fun thing. Someone got me. I have a challenge here. I have a bag of Daredevil #3. They want me to put it back together, and we'll see how that goes. But that's someone's cat got to their collection and scratched up their book. So yikes to that one. But it's fun to see the original DD costume, you know, and it's fun to see some original Stan Lee writing in there. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you on the road. Take care. Bye-bye.